Yeah, good morning. It's actually nice to be here with such a diversity in different fields. Well, coming to my own story, I started playing the sport at a very young age of 4. I couldn't even reach the table, so my coach, my father, my uncle, they used to carry me and I used to hit the ball. So that was how I started playing the sport. And as a youngster, I was good at the state level, but never good at the national level. So I was like state number 1. I represented Tamil Nadu state. So I was state number 1. But at the national level, I was really a nobody, probably 20 or 25 in the national ranking. But I liked playing the sport, and I think the most important part in my career, the transformation came when I had to decide in my 10th standard if I'll take up engineering in my 11th, science and engineering, or commerce and table tennis. Well, my mother wanted me, the typical side, engineering, science, engineering, and the US, because all my cousins were doing that. So peer pressure was very high. But I personally decided that I wanted to play the sport. So my father was very happy. So at least there's one who's on my side. So my father was very happy. My mother, yes, of course, even though she wanted me to go the other side, but once I decided that I'll be a professional in table tennis, she supported me, as any parent would do. So I started doing my 11th standard. From 11th standard onwards, my attendance went low on school and college. I was more in the training hall. I'd spent like almost 12 hours, doing the sport, either in the gym or playing table tennis or having, the adequate rest I needed. So from my 10th standard, which is basically I was 14, 15 years old, until I was 19, 20. Those years I worked very, very hard, but there were no results coming in at that point of time. I was still the best in the state, but not getting my foot into the national level. But things changed by 2002 when I was first called in for the senior national training camp. So 2002 I went in for my first camp. By the end of 2002 I became the number 4 in the country. I played my first senior national final, or any national final. That was my first national final. And by 2003, I won the Indian National Championships. I was number 1 in India. And from there, things went very fast. I think the years of work, what I put in the 5 years, they were being transformed there. So by 2003, I became the best in the country. By 2004, I represented India at the Olympic Games in Athens. I became the first Indian to win a Commonwealth medal in Kuala Lumpur. And I got the Arjuna award in 2004. So things were on a roll. Things were going really good. But that was where, I hit a block there. I was good in the country. I wanted to be better in the international level. So I had to move into Europe, which not many had done before prior to me, because it's very high investment and you don't know what is the return. But sport by and large is the same game you're playing. There is no return on investment. If you don't make it big, you don't get back anything. But then thanks to my family support, I could invest 2 years in Europe, spend all my father's savings. So and I slowly started becoming good in the international level. And by 2006, at the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne, we won 2 gold medals. I won the singles and I won the team. And that Commonwealth Games was what shot me to fame. The ID there that created Sharath Kamal, the guy with the long hair and the bandana, is still what people relate to. Even though I went bald 2 months ago, people are still asking, where's the long hair? It's all falling off. It's not, I'm getting old. So So from there, yeah, I went on to win 5 national titles. In total, I had won, by 2010, I had won 6 national titles. And 2010 Commonwealth Games, won another gold medal in the men's doubles, partnering Subhajit Saha. So things were like, you know, I was getting better and better with every year. And by 2007, I broke the top 100 mark. And by 2010, I won a couple of international tournaments, becoming the first Indian to do so, and broke into the top 50. I was 39 in the world. So from there, you know, I was hoping that I'll go ahead. And the main aim was the London Olympic Games, where I wanted to do well. But I think destiny had other plans for me. I got married. Well, no, that's yeah. I moved into Europe. I've been living, yeah, since 2004. I've been living. I was based out of Europe, playing the leagues there, visiting India, visiting home once in a while. So by 2009, I got married. 2010, we had 2010. I moved with my wife into Europe, and 2011 we had a kid. So personally, there were some changes in my life, and professionally, there are a lot of changes in the game. So 2011, I hit the lowest of low on my career. I went down to 94 in the world ranking, which I don't think I was ever there since 2007. Until now, that's been in the last 11 years, that's been the lowest of the world rankings I've had. I started losing on the Indian national tournaments. I didn't qualify for the Rio Olympic Games, which was the main goal, you know, for like 4 to 5 years. So I didn't know which way to go, you know, which direction to go, where do I solve the problems. So then I hired a coach, personal coach, who take care of me, because a coach is very, very important in our profession, and I think also in anybody's life. I think if somebody is helping you in the direction you want to go, it makes things easier. So I signed up with a coach, and I was trying to practice more number of hours in the gym, in the table tennis court. But at the same time, I needed enough energy and focus on my family, because, you know, we were living there. We had no external support as far as family support. So it was only me or my wife who had to take care of my daughter. So there, I think my wife, she understood that I was not able to balance the whole thing properly. So she said, look, I know that 2016, you missed out on the 2012 Olympic Games. So I know that 2016 is a very important milestone in your career. So I will go back to my mother's place. I will take care of the kid. You don't worry about us. You just concentrate on your game and keep the focus on 2016. But once 2016 is done, pack your bags. Well, men being men, we don't follow the deals. I'm still playing on. So she moved back, you know. Then it was quite hard for me, staying away from family, still practicing, and, you know, going ahead with the plans. But then slowly I could see progress coming back in. By 2013, I was close to the top 60s, and by 2014, that is after 4 years, I broke the top 50 once again. So it took me 4 years to come out of the bad patch. But because I'm saying this because most of us, we know only the glory side of a sports person. We don't know the difficulties what going through, the sacrifices and the difficulties what goes in through have that kind of success. So by 2014, I came back, you know, slowly getting back on track, and things were rolling. Things were moving as expected, and I was thinking if I can keep the kind of shape I was having, I will keep the kind of form I was having. 2016 is a very good chance where, if not a medal, I could at least make it to the quarterfinal or to the last 16. Because the best performance India has had is the round of 32, which I played in 2008. So then I was playing one of my best table tennis in 2015. In a tournament at Asia Cup, which was happening in Jaipur, I beat four top 20 players in a span of 24 hours. So that helped me raise to my career best ranking of 38 at that point of time. And a month later, I was at the World Championships in China, and I was playing world number 28. I was ahead 3-0 out of a best of 7. So I just need one more game to win that match. And 3-0 in the middle of the 4th set, I heard a snap, and I couldn't walk anymore. There was like shooting pain in my hamstrings. So the doctor came, and they were just having a check, and the doctor could figure out that I had torn one of my muscles. So later on in the MRI scan, we found out that I had torn my hamstring muscle from my hip bone for nearly 12 centimeters. So that's a very big cut. I couldn't walk. So the doctor, during the match, then the doctor said, it's better you give up now. I said, I'm so close to win. Just give me, one more chance, one small chance. Let me try and play to win the match. But the doctor said, you have the risk of tearing it further down, which can disable your whole leg. I said, just give me a small chance, because I'm so close, I'm there, I want to get this done. So he said, okay, fine. If you feel pain at any point of time, you need to stop. So then with one leg, limping on the other leg, I continued to play. The first couple of points I won, because the opponent was still thinking that I'm injured and I can't move. So I used up, a little bit of that momentum. But then that set, I lost the 4th set. Then the doctor came up and said, okay, now do we stop? I said, just give me one last set. If I don't win the set, I will come out. Just one last set. And then I put all in on that set. I just did everything possible to win that set. I won that set, came out. I was taken out on a stretcher. I couldn't walk. Took the flight. I had very tough time sitting on a flight from China to Germany. It was a long flight. Went back, did the MRI scan. The doctor said I had to get it operated. So once the operation was done, I was 4 weeks on a wheelchair, 2.5 weeks on crutches, and it nearly took me 6 months to get back on track. And this is happening in 2015 May, and 2016 August is the Olympic Games. So and I didn't know, also after the operation and also after the rehab, everything, I didn't know if I can come back to play again. So all the sacrifices done for the whole entire career was on a, was going blank. I didn't know what I was going to do. There were a lot of days when I was depressed completely. I didn't want to go to rehab. I didn't want to start playing table tennis because I didn't know if I was able to make it there. But then slowly and steadily, by the end of the year, by November, I started playing a little bit, and then slowly started recovering, and things were moving very, very slowly until then. And then the qualification process came up in April 2016. That's exactly like 1 year after the injury happened. And normally at my level, I should qualify because I already qualified for 2 Olympic Games. And the qualification process, at my level, should have been a cakewalk. But then, at that point of time, with my current shape and my form, I was not sure of what would happen. And I still remember the night of the last day of the qualification. There were 2 days. The first 2 days were the preliminary rounds, and the third day was when I actually could qualify for the Olympic Games. That night was a nightmare. My heart is beating at close to 200 beats per minute. When I'm sleeping on my stomach, I'm not able to sleep because the heart is beating so fast. Then when I turn around and sleep, I'm not able to sleep. I'm not able to do anything. I'm not able to get myself calm. But still, the next morning with lack of sleep and so much anxiety and nervousness, still I went on to beat a player whom I've never lost to before that or after that, who's like close to 100 places behind me in the world ranking, with a 4 games to 3, very, very close match. So once I qualified for that, then it was like, okay, at least I'm there at the 2016 Olympic Games. But things changed, you know, the perseverance which went through the whole process there, that is helping me to continue on with my career until now. So 2016, that, you know, I qualified for the Olympic Games, and that year again, after a gap of 5 to 6 years, I won the Indian National Championships for the 7th time. And then slowly things started moving up. And then 2017 was a fantastic year for the whole of Indian table tennis. Not just me, all of us started playing very well. And then 2018 came up with the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games. So the Commonwealth Games was in April. So 2014, the Indian team got only a silver medal, wherein 2006 and 2010 we got gold medals. So we wanted to win back the gold there. So 2018 we won the men team gold, and men doubles I got the silver, and then the men's singles was happening towards the end, because the tournament is pretty long, the Commonwealth Games. The table tennis even goes on for almost like 14 to 15 days. So to keep the mental pressure on for such a long period is very, very hard. So we finished the team championships, I finished the doubles, and coming to the singles, you know, I was pretty much tired. And it was the last day, the last match. It was my bronze medal match. The coach came up to me, and the only thing he said was, you know, it's don't play this match for yourself, or don't play this match for me. You can see there are so many people in India who want you to win this medal, and it is for them you need to win the medal. And that gave me an extra energy of, you know, extra motivational push, which actually helped me win that medal. And when I was standing on that podium, even though I didn't win the gold that day, still there were tears coming up, you know, from the eyes. So the kind of sacrifices we put in through, and the kind of hard work we put in through, that is the moment when we feel cherished, when the whole country is behind us, cheering for us. So thank you very much for your audience, and I hope all of you enjoyed my story.